Good morning, good afternoon, and good night. This is the podcast of Gugabe. I am Gugabe, and this is Technical 10.
Hey,
How
how's
are
it
we?
going?
Yeah, not too bad. Um, so, after last week's UFC on ESPN plus 17, so we had a decent event. Cub Swanson delivered the True Believers, a pile of cash.
Yeah, nice play by you. I was kind of like, the Gracie was kind of an unjustifiable play, but like minus 200 or so. I ended up just kind of staying away, but I think I hit Cub live. He was a favorite at the time I hit him live, but
Like, Kron honestly, outperformed my expectations.
yeah,
But a lot of good part of that was just him being so durable, and there was no good reason to expect him to be like peak Brian Ortega.
yeah, yeah.
Like he took some punishment.
Yeah, I hit him. I hit him live like after round one or something, or Swanson, and yeah, my strategy was just I figured Crohn's early danger. Like if he subbed him, it would probably be in the first round, and
Yeah,
then then I jumped on Swanson. I mean, I didn't obviously you don't get that much money on um live betting as pre-fight betting, but yeah, nice play by you though. Good job.
yeah. I had the under 2.5 as a hedge too. I would have actually made a fair bit more if I got a stop.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
either way, like yeah, still decent money. What else was on? Johanna just kind of kicked the shit out of Michelle Watson.
Yeah,
Um,
that's the most money I've ever had on a big favorite. Um, like I had 6 units, and that's a max bet for me. But pretty much, I wrote down like I figured it would go exactly how it did, and the only thing I was worried about was just a back take, and it almost kind of happened. But I don't think that choke was nearly as close as um, kind of people thought because Joanna just kind of maintained risk control and then just kind of stood up and got out. But
wait, you mean your biggest player and the big favourite till Molly McCann this week?
oh, yeah, like I actually like have some action on her and like have her as a parlay leg and had her like minus
Yeah,
300 line or whatever. But
I was,
because
yeah,
that
I
girl
scooped.
fighting is really bad.
Yeah, I scooped up to minus 360, and I usually don't bother with that bigger favourites, but yeah, Belbeta seems to just be me.
Yeah, Joanna's still a monster.
Oh, she
And
definitely is.
I think people were kind of like the way I saw this fight is I won't spend too much time on it, but Joanna, like Michelle lost to Rose Namajunas, and then 2 months later, Joanna fought Rose and was minus 800 at close, and then like now she's miraculously like
Big
in the minus
fighter.
200s. She got because didn't you get her
Your
at minus 250 late too?
your voice just dropped out for like everything past the word Joanna, so I just assumed you saying she was an elite talent. Yeah, minus 200.
Yeah, I'm just saying she was minus 800 against Rose, and that was 2 months after Rose killed
Yeah,
Michelle Watson. And like, I don't think any of their games have changed since. And it's just Joanna fought Valentina and Rose, and they're just both tough matchups for her. Like,
yeah,
so, like, minus 250, you could get her at fight time, which was insane.
yeah. I made a bit of money. I pretty much just played like a little bit of money line, bit of 4-5 decision, and a bit of 4 and 5. So I came
Yeah,
out ahead, but like I was hoping for stoppage, but
yeah.
we're MMA, we don't throw it out. Because Watson was just kind of having the shit beaten out of her for like Buzzway. Joanna Jędrzejczyk's live price after like 12 minutes was like 1.001.
Yeah. Speaking of like corner stoppages, just kind of this fight and then also that Gifford fight,
Yeah,
like the way I see it is like honestly, I think it's because we watch these fights from like a percentages angle. We understand that it's super low percentage for some of these comebacks to happen. And they happen like the only one I could think of where I was thinking corner stoppage and then the guy came back was Felipe Silva and Claudio Puelles. And it's
yeah.
like
The
that
knee bar.
happened. Yeah, that's a a below 5% outcome, and I think these corners just need to understand that it's not worth the damage that you're gonna take over 90% of the time.
Yeah, definitely. I think there's a certain amount of it's the UFC's like ethos and as an organization,
Yeah.
but yeah, it's unfortunate. What else is good?
Nico with the meme.
Nico Price doing like that wasn't even a meme.
Yeah.
How else would you expect that fight to end? The meme outcome there would have been Nico Price like holding James Vick down for 29-28 decision.
Yeah, I didn't play this fight. If I was on Vic, like I would probably be I would be triggered in most instances, but against Nico, that's just kind of his win conditions, just like randomly landing strikes from random positions that usually people can't do. But I think it was only the second upkick KO in the history of the UFC.
But also, like, it wasn't like Vic was dominating the fight up to that point. Like, yeah, obviously he was in a dominant position when he got upkick KO'd, but prior to that, it was kind of a mess.
Yeah. I mean, it was always a fight where Price could kind of just knock him out at any moment. So,
It happened.
yeah. But
Exactly as described in the box. Good times.
yeah.
Alright, what else am I thinking? Probably on to this week's UFC. UFC Reyes vs Weidman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Daniel Spitz and Tanner Bozer.
Boza probably could be a bit more of a favourite, but again, it's low level heavyweight, so
Yeah.
low level heavyweight. Yeah, Boza just seems fairly competent. He seems like Jeff Hughes to me. That's on my immediate comparison for him.
Yeah, he seems like kind of decent. But I think as like a minus 150 favorite coming into the UFC. Spitz isn't very good, but he is long and that could always give someone issues, but yeah, I don't see like much value for either guy here.
Yeah, Spitz could have athletic. Spitz could have the athletic edge. Could hit harder, but yeah, I don't think Spitz is a massive hitter, so that probably won't be an issue.
Yeah.
But yeah, I feel like she'll be Boza just being a bit more aggressive, a bit more put together. And yeah,
Yep.
maybe it could be about minus 150, 160 without me being too askance at it. But like, yeah, price is about right.
Yeah. Yeah, I have
And
no
it is
problem.
heavyweight too. Like some weird shit could just happen.
Oh
Either
yeah,
way.
for sure. For sure. That's why it's not safe, playing Bozer either.
Yeah.
Um Allen and Holland. Um what are the odds here? Isn't Holland like a small favorite? Yeah.
Holland's minus 160 at the moment. Holland, Holland against Chirico, I'll give him a pass because he just randomly suffered a shoulder dislocation.
Yeah.
But again, there's Kevin Holland, so it might just be part of his game plan.
Yeah.
And Brendan Allen seems competent. Let me just jog my memory about Brendan Allen.
Yeah,
Is the LFA champ?
yeah, he also is in the Contender Series. He likes to grapple a lot, so it's always a risk that Holland will kind of be on the bottom position if you're playing Holland.
Oh yeah,
I
that
do
guy.
I do think Holland is like the better fighter
Yeah,
and the more skilled and talented fighter. And Holland's like he's a decent striker as well. Has a good striking ratio, but I just betting Holland a minus 170 is always a little scary because, I mean, this is the same guy that fought John Phil. Like, he doesn't follow correct game plans, and can kind of do stupid shit. But I'm like fine with it. He should be the favorite, though. He's better, but he might just throw away the fight. But,
I forgot. I didn't realize Kevin Holland was a 3-fight winning streak.
yeah, that's the funny thing about him is the only fight he's lost was the Thiago Santos, and it's
There's like
just
2 days notice, and he memed upon himself.
yeah, but even like the Mearshart and Alessio fights, he
Oh
could have lost either of those.
yeah,
And then John
true.
Phillips is John Phillips, so it just kind of is what it
But
is.
even John Phillips, he kind of gave John Phillips opportunities to John Phillips a lot more than he should have.
Yeah,
And also Brendan Allen seems to have lost every time he's taken a sort of a meaningful step up in competition. Like, I'm pretty sure I've taped Anthony Hernandez versus Brendan Allen because I've faded Anthony Hernandez twice.
Yeah.
And, like, yeah, losing decision to Anthony Hernandez is not good look, in my opinion.
Yeah. I totally agree, but like just the argument of not playing Haaland at the same
Oh,
time.
definitely.
Haaland is
Yeah.
an idiot, and also, like when Mearshart passed Haaland, I forget how many times, but he was just like getting good positions on the floor on him, and
Yeah.
I don't see why Brendan Allen can't get advancing opportunities on the floor. Like he definitely can. So it could get weird. So I think it's just kind of a clear pass, but then one fight that I'm still kind of doing research on, and the line I think is off is Sean Brady and Court McGee.
Yeah,
I don't
definitely agreed.
I don't
I played.
like
I've,
why is he minus 250? Is Sean Brady? I don't understand.
I'm guessing people are playing the age. People are seeing the undefeated. People like undefeated records.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Like, McKay's getting a bit old, but it's like McKay isn't. I think McKay's lost that much of a step. He still looked like Court McKay against Diego Lima.
Yeah, in that fight, even Court McGee was kind of winning the minutes. He just got stunned with a few bigger shots, and it was just
Yeah, pretty much.
like I'm okay if someone loses that way. That's just kind of like shit happening, you know. Um,
Yeah, I agree with that. I don't think Sean Brady is necessarily as dangerous as Diego Lima has been at the minute.
yeah,
And Sean Brady doesn't really have the best work rate. So I'm just like, I feel like there's a sort of good 50-60% chance McKay just kind of out hustles him.
yeah. I mean that's kind of what McGee does. He averages like a decent amount of takedowns. He has a good striking ratio. He's busy. I do want to I just kind of watched. I did like surface level tape on the other guy, but I kind of want to just look at his output a little more. But I didn't remember him being particularly busy. But yeah,
And also, it's like, if I don't like Court McGee, you're not going to look minus 250 against him unless you like dominantly finish him.
yeah,
Just
yeah,
because of how Court McGee is.
yeah, yeah. Like he's just didn't he have a really like I mean, Alex Garcia is not bad, and he kind of
Yeah.
dominated Alex Garcia. And then, like, didn't he had a pretty tough fight versus Sean Strickland, and Sean Strickland's pretty good.
Yeah, like if you look at if going off I remember going off scorecards, McGee's pretty much taken around in pretty much every decision he's gone
Yeah,
to in the UFC.
yeah,
Like he just wins rounds.
yeah.
He's obviously held back by his athleticism and all that, but
And
dude,
if he doesn't win
how's
rounds, he's competing, all the
yeah,
time. Like he's not
and
making it easy for you.
pretty much. And like yeah, MMA decisions, pretty much every Court McGee decision, there are people who think he won it.
Yeah,
So it's just like, he'll come forward, he'll put up good volume, he'll not go away easily. He's
yeah,
a fucking difficult to finish.
yeah, yeah.
So
Pretty
like,
much. I'm gonna look
Sean
into
Brady,
it.
like nothing of him, just sort of nothing at a glance, but just screaming out to me. This guy is like an A plus prospect. So what's the issue
He
with like prospects? You get like you post like on Twitter, like, oh, I'm not sure who Sean Brady is. And you get like family or something randomly talking shit. I'm just like, I have no ill will towards Sean Brady as a person.
yeah, people just sometimes can't compartmentalize like just critiquing a fighter as just you know as their abilities compared to like personal. But yeah, like I'm gonna look into this more, but like this is like very this just seems very weird because I wouldn't put many people like even like pretty good fighters. I wouldn't even want to put much more than a 250 against McGee. Like McGee's not great, but like we kind of keep repeating, he competes.
Like, where
Um,
would you line like McGee versus Magny? Like, they're legit like top 20 welterweights who I'd give McGee like a minus 200 again. I mean, sorry, plus 200 against or
yeah,
tighter. Like Magny, like unless you can really just like physically dominate McGee, he's gonna make it hard. Nothing in Brady's like tape tells me it shows me he's like a massively dominant anything.
because the thing about McGee is you can't really out wrestle him easily because he's pretty decent there, you know?
Yeah.
And he's always, even if he's not getting takedowns, he's always going for them and just kind of like causing issues. So you're always on the defensive. So you can't really get your own offense going. And then on the feet, he's not like a killer striker, but he's busy as fuck. Like he's just an ugly fighter and he makes it difficult for you. Um,
Like even like McGee versus Till or something like that. I think that McGee would be like I played McGee at plus 300 against Till.
oh yeah, for sure. Definitely.
Because like McGee would just laminate himself to Till's nuts.
Yeah.
Like even like McGee RDA or something like that. Honestly, just like if McGee could just jam it.
Yeah, like I
But
mean, I didn't even think Strickland looked minus 250 against McGee.
he didn't.
So and dude, I think Strickland's pretty good personally. Like I think
Yeah,
what's
I think
up?
he's done. He's screwed now. He had like a car accident last year or something, from
Yeah,
memory.
I think
But
just like
yeah,
kind of
Peak
in his
Strickland was definitely top 15. I'm a big fan of Peak, like Sean Strickland.
yeah, in his prime, I mean, he's just kind of like a upgraded version of McGee, where he's also got like size and other physical advantages, and he's just like pretty good everywhere. Um, but yeah, um, yeah, I don't know. I need to because whenever I was expecting Brady to look like hyper athletic or something, you know, like with like
Yeah,
that's what I was expecting when I saw a 250. I was like, I'm sure he's pretty good, but then he just kind of seemed like
yeah. He
fine,
doesn't
like
seem bad.
yeah,
He just seems pretty competent everywhere.
yeah.
And
Kind of seems like McGee. Like, I don't
yeah,
know.
pretty much just a bit like McGee, but younger, less tested, less.
Yeah, people are starting to hit McGee though.
It
Costa
has
and
bounced.
Shannon.
It has bounced back a bit. Like yeah, it's not like it's been one smooth move. I think there's probably like some people who just enjoy playing. Like when there must be some people who just essentially just play like undefeated fighters no matter what,
Yeah,
which
yeah,
is crazy.
yeah.
Yes, next on to Boston Salmon versus Randy Costa.
I think Salmon should be the favorite. And I did you get on his early line? Like he was the
I've got about $5,000 on Salmon plus 110, so I'm happy.
oh dude, nice. You're just gonna I'd arb out if I were
Oh,
you.
yeah, yeah, I'm off. It's like it's probably gonna be about $1,400 worth of profit, so I'm happy with that.
Oh yeah, yeah. That's I mean to win a guaranteed $1,400 on a fight like this is totally fine.
Yeah,
Um,
pretty much.
I think Salmon. I think Salmon's just a little. He seems a little more polished on the feet, like defensively, less
Yeah,
holes. But Costa can still crack, so I'm fine with the where the line's
yeah.
at. Like I think Costa could compete.
I think
Um,
Salmon's honestly a pretty good like prospect. Like he's got two losses on his record, but like the one in the regionals was like the worst robbery I've ever seen.
yeah,
Like Salmon beat him 30-26 and lost the split decision.
yeah,
It
yeah,
was hilarious. It was
yeah,
just like,
yeah,
what are you guys on?
yeah,
And Khalid Taha just kind of killing you straight off. I'm just like, yeah, whatever. Khalid Taha can do that to most people.
yeah,
Like, if you just told me Khalid Taha knocked out like any bantamweight in 30 seconds, I'd just be like, all right, that happened.
yeah. It's just kind of a shit happening type of thing.
Yeah, he's
Um,
powerful, he's explosive, he's Khalid Taha. But yeah, I actually like the ITD a lot here too. I got it at plus 140 when it first opened
yeah,
because I'm pretty confident Costa will just run forward and cost through him.
yeah. I yeah. Like wait, what's the ITD? Sorry.
I think it's minus 110 at the moment, maybe. It was plus 130 when I got on it. It is minus 150 at the moment. Jesus, it's come down.
Coast is super hittable too. Like he just kind of cracked with Brandon Davis, you know. There was like there were a ton of knockdowns, but yeah, Costa he's like in that classic space where he can offensively throw some stuff, but I feel like his defense is lacking, and that's very common for like a young fighter, you know. Um, but yeah,
Yeah,
I'm fine with the line now. Probably wouldn't touch it now, but good for the people who got on Salmon early. This is an interesting fight next. Boshniak and Woodson. I've seen a lot of people kind of seeming to play. They're kind of playing Boshniak here, and
yeah,
I don't
yeah.
have strong opinions here, but I don't think Boshniak's a good play either. I just like, the thing about Bosniak, it's like, how does he really consistently win rounds? It's because he can't really hold people down, even though he'll go for a lot of, takedown attempts, but he's not good at completing them. And then on the feet, he just doesn't really ever land. Like, so you know what I
Yeah,
mean? So I just struggle whenever he's minus 135, his implied probability is what, like 58%? So
yeah.
I just struggle seeing where I could put him at 65% of winning 2 out of 3 against really anybody. Like, I understand he won't get blown out by anyone, but he also just doesn't do enough to so
You know
I
what I
don't
don't get? People playing bot Shack, when you think they'd go look at like McGee, who presents essentially the same value proposition as plus 200.
yeah. Yeah.
Like McGee is just I just don't see how even playing bot Shack, you're not playing McGee instead.
Yeah,
Like
the thing with, like and, like, Woodson, I've seen a lot of hate on him, but he's long and he's super busy, and he's, like, always throwing. In his last fight, he was going against an actual, like, really good wrestler, and he kinda just hung out and was taken down for a little bit, then got up and
yeah,
finished him, so you didn't really get to see his output there. But if you watch him in regionals, like, he throws a lot, and Bochniak sometimes struggles with that if you're just kind of throwing. So I think this is a close fight, and I don't
yeah,
agree with playing Bochniak, but, I'm
yeah.
not saying I'm jumping on Woodson either, but yeah.
Yeah, it feels like kind of split decision, these sort of messy fight. Like
Yeah,
Bochniak creates those sorts of fights. Woodson also buys into those sorts of fights.
yeah.
Pretty sure I played Woodson on TNC, but I remember that fight being fairly mean.
Well, it was pretty much, McKinney got a takedown, and you could tell he wanted nothing to do with the striking, and he was just kinda going for the hold him down in his guard the entire fight path, and then
Yeah.
Woodson got back up and knocked him out, so it was kinda
Was that like
just
the weird boot knee?
yeah, yeah, it
I
was like a
remember the knee
knee
looked really
shot.
soft.
Yeah.
It was like Magny versus Craig White.
Oh,
Where like
nothing's weirder than that.
Magny's like gently taps him in the knee, Craig White just dies.
Uh, Me and my buddy always laugh at, like I think it was, I forget who Pat Barry was fighting, but Pat Barry, like, his chin was so gone to where, like, softening glance blows just
Yeah.
to, like, soften someone up on the
Yeah.
floor? Like, someone was doing that to him, and he just went out. It was like, "Wait, those, like, punches weren't even, I feel like,
Yeah.
intended to put someone completely unconscious." Um but yeah, like, I'm probably passing on Bosniak Woodson, but it's just kinda whatever.
Yeah, that's
McCann
fair.
McCann, I jumped on McCann early at her -300 line because, like, if you would've told me that I was gonna jump on that line, I would've called you crazy, but then, 1, I think McCann's a little better than we give her credit for. Like, I don't think she's, like,
Yeah.
amazing, but if she can just strike, she's actually not bad, and Belbita's really bad. Like,
Yeah.
she's just not very good at all.
Yeah, I got to minus 360 just because people were making a lot of noise, and I watched that like one gif of Gugabe being an idiot, and I was like, oh, yeah, might as well.
Yeah, like,
Like, I don't usually play favorites that caliber. The fact that I'm on that favorite means that she's about to lose by first round knockout because that's how all my favorite players go. But
yeah. I mean, it's just like McCann's super busy, and she actually is like a pretty
yeah,
fundamental boxer. Um, and Belbita's just I don't even I don't like to talk shit on fighters. It's just she doesn't really have any skills. She's just super raw and doesn't really know what's going on. I feel.
yeah, that's
Yeah,
fair.
pretty much. I don't think there's anything to really analyze. Here's a fight. I feel like you and I feel like you and I have just a fascination with Bermuda's fights, just because like the takes on them.
Bermudez, yeah,
Yeah,
Bermudez is like this classic grappling style that people who don't know shit about grappling seem to like.
yeah, yep,
Like I appreciate him for what he is. Like I don't mind like jiu-jitsu brawler sort of. I'll keep throwing 150 sub sort of thing, but like just because somebody hits the miracle sub once or twice doing it doesn't make them a good grappler. I feel like in striking, people will recognize, oh, that guy's just John Phillips. But when they see a guy like Manny Bermudez, they seem to think there's a lot more method to it than there actually is.
Yeah.
And that's kind of, and like ultimately, Manny Bermudez has leaned so heavily on being a giant that like he's going against somebody his own size now. Well, I think he's still bigger than Rosa, but he's less bigger than Rosa. How's that going to go for him? Because like he's not particularly proficient grappler. I mean, he's not particularly proficient wrestler.
Yeah.
He just kind of bullies forward. Like he just lost to a flyweight.
Yeah.
And you're going to take this dude who just lost to a flyweight. You taking a featherweight seriously? Lost to a flyweight.
Yeah. I do need to tape Rosa a little more. Like I did watch, but I just want to because I didn't get to the Seaver fight, and the fight metric numbers were like off the charts for him getting dominated by Seaver on the mat, which is kind of weird because I didn't like I thought Rosa was actually a pretty good grappler from what I've seen. Other than that, like as far as like fundamentally sound, but I think the comparison of Bermudez that I like not the exact same, but he's kind of like Dustin Hazlett, where Hazlett would get a lot of just random guard subs against guys who weren't that good. And then people seem to think that he was like an ADCC champion. like, and then Mark Bocek got kind of grappled with Hazlett, passed his guard with ease, and dominated him. And that's kind of what I see as Bermudez. He's like an opportunistic triangle and guillotine guy. Those are the only two subs he uses. And like the reason I was on Kenny over him is just because Bermudez he's kind of sub or bust, even though he managed to play a better positional game there because of the size. But all you have to do is just kind of fight hands and just have like basic triangle defense. And I feel like a guy like Rosa probably has that, just like Kenny did, you know?
Yeah, and even a guy like Paul Sass. That's what I was
Yeah.
sort of thinking of. He just like somebody figured him out. The guys of actual decent wrestling just kind of just held him down, or even tapped him because he was so aggressive. He'd open up his own holes constantly.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Because
it's
that's
just
the
like,
thing. I think Bermudez will get tapped at some point, you know, in the
yeah,
next couple fights.
there's a bunch. Like I was going to play, I was going to play as a beat sub over Ortega because I felt like
Yes.
there was a good
Yes.
chance Ortega would just try force shit.
I think
Like,
Zabit subbing Ortega is more likely than Ortega subbing Zabit.
agreed. But like the prices for that would be like the other way around. Like Ortega sub would be like plus 200.
yeah, then like Zabit
And the
would be
beat
like
sub would have been
subbing.
like plus 500. Or yeah,
Yeah,
plus 700.
yeah, yeah. Um,
When like people don't realize just because you're getting submission wins doesn't necessarily make you an elite grappler. Sometimes you just throw up that like crazy meme sub, and yeah, it hits. But it doesn't necessarily make you that deep again. It doesn't necessarily give you a deep grappling game.
some of these super tight grapplers too, kind of like a Zabit or like an Islam Makhachev. Even when Islam was going against Davi Ramos, and Davi Ramos is tiers above Bermudez as far as like even just a submission grappler, because Bermudez is doing it against regional guys, you know?
Yeah,
And if you just look at like he wasn't close to ever subbing Makachev. So imagine like Ortega, he's not subbing Zabit, you know? but
yeah.
like I'd be it would have to be like a club and sub or something. But the thing about this fight though is like I need to look into it more, but I actually think best case scenario is Bermudez just getting an easy win and then him being even money versus like
Oh,
Ricardo
yeah.
Lamas. Yeah.
That's definitely the ideal. Like I wouldn't mind losing a unit on Rosa here if I can make a 5 unit bet on Bermuda against Bermudez at like plus 150 on Lamas or Amir Khani. That's like honestly like 30 featherweights. I'd be very happy taking
Oh yeah,
against
Amir
Bermudez.
Khani would out grapple him with ease. Complete ease.
Especially if Bermudez like just wins by like just a random like 2 minute triangle or something. So I'm like, all right, he hasn't really done anything to improve the holes.
Yeah. Yeah.
And like Bermudez is just such an awful defensive striker too. Like against Kenny, he just had success because he was just so big.
Yeah.
But yeah, he doesn't really have defensive striking. He doesn't really have defensive grappling. Even when
It,
he's succeeding, you don't know if he's going to suddenly pull a guard sub or something and give up position for no reason.
the thing about that Kenny fight is Kenny also like took the first 8 to 9 minutes very clear until Kenny
Yeah,
got really tired, which is understandable. And the thing is, like, I love Kenny just because he's won me big in two fights. but Kenny also isn't an incredible fighter or anything. You know,
Yeah,
he's a solid fighter, and he's got no holes. He can kind of compete everywhere, and that's pretty
yeah,
much it. And those are the type of fighters who will beat Bermudez,
yeah,
especially if they're the same size, because Rosa isn't just going to randomly start dying a few minutes in. You know?
yeah. I agree with that. I mean, it is possible. It's been off 2 years. Like,
Yeah,
yeah, I could see Rose just randomly starting to die, and people like being, well, Bermudez is an elite endurance talent or something. But I just don't see the logic
yeah.
at this
I hear.
point.
Um,
All right.
Win and
Stewart versus
Stewart.
Win. Win's work rate makes me a bit hesitant, but I do feel like there's a good chance Stewart just knocks his fucking head off. Oh, Stewart ITD's out to plus 420. Wait,
Oh
Stewart
wow.
ITD is wider than Win ITD? Where's the logic in that? Like, if Stewart NSC ends up being like plus, if Stewart no scorecards ends up being plus money, I'm hitting that so hard.
Oh, for sure, for sure. I didn't even I didn't see those props.
Like, I hit Stewart ITD at plus 320 the other day because I thought that was like the best price I was going to get.
I one thing I do want to say, a lot of people in this fight are kind of talking about the work rate discrepancies, and I'm always looking at work rate. I think it's like one of the most important things to look at in striking fights. But
Yeah.
when he had a high work rate against Spicely, but he didn't versus Lawler, so I don't think it's
Against
like
Law, it was nothing. I remember that.
it was nothing. Like I I knew, like, I kind of actually, I wrestled with Win growing up, so I kind of know who he is and everything. I kind of knew a lot about him going into that Lawler fight, so I was paying like extra attention. He got outstruck. It
Yeah.
was Golden Boy MMA, and he got
Yeah.
outstruck on the numbers.
Yeah.
I do think Win won the fight because he landed bigger shots, but it was pretty close. Um,
Yeah, I remember I had like bet on Lawler at like plus 200 or something, and I felt okay about it from memory. Lawler was like Lawler was a massive underdog for no real
yeah,
reason.
Win opened at like, I think they opened pretty close to even, and then Win closed at like minus 250 or something, like something pretty high. I can't remember
Minus
the.
350, minus 350 according to topology.
Oh wow, so he got even higher. Wow.
Yeah, which is just like what, like even he didn't really look minus 350 against Lawler.
No, he didn't.
Like I think there's a very good chance Stewart just kind of homicides him because I don't trust anybody at AKA to teach striking defense.
Yeah, I
Like how much did Spicely land? Like Spicely was landing pretty easily on Win.
he landed a ton.
And we've seen how big an athletic gap there is between Spicely and Stewart. We've seen that fight where Stewart just got bored and tried to kill him because he was.
Yeah. Hold on one second. Sorry, got like something in my throat, but
So good.
yeah, like I think Spicely, like it was just kind of a brawl, and they both landed like a ton, but I just don't. I don't know. The thing is, like Stewart's inside the distance. I would rather play that probably than
Yeah.
his money
Same
line.
here. I think plus 420.
Plus 420 is fucking insane.
Yeah. Like there's a good chance Win just die. Win just gets homicided there. I'm gonna wait to do no score. I think I've got like 2 units across the Stewart and the ITD already. So I
Yeah.
might wait to the no scorecards are out a bit.
Dude, why is fight goes to decision minus 195? I feel like there's just going to be a lot of big shots here, and when I've kind of like campaigned for Stewart's defensive
Yeah.
wrestling being good for a while now. He's really hard to hold down, and I don't think Win can just take him and hold him down. Um,
Yeah.
like I think this is going to be a brawl, and in a brawl, when does Stewart really lose? You know,
Yeah.
like
Yeah. He just hits ridiculously hard.
yeah, I want to see all the props. So, like, if Stewart's ITDs minus or plus 420, what's his KO going to be? Like plus 450? That's pretty crazy. I feel,
Yeah.
but I want to see all the props before I make a decision. But this is a
Yeah.
fun fight. It will be fun for sure.
And again, I just I don't really trust when to just hold Stewart down because he just doesn't really pass or consolidate that well.
No. Yeah.
Yeah, if Stewart gets up, and like even like what's his name?
Shabazian?
Yeah, Shabazian. Like he had to kind of awkwardly end up kind of cage fucking Stewart for most of it because he couldn't actually hold him down like grappling in like wrestling situations.
Yeah, he kept trying to do he kept doing like mat returns and spiral rides, and
Yeah,
Stewart kept fighting them off. And it was actually like good wrestling by
yeah,
Shabazian. It was just also good defensive wrestling by Stewart. That was the fight that made me kind of think Shabazian and Stewart were both good, but they both made each other look bad because they were kind of like neutralizing each other. Um,
yeah.
but
Um,
yeah,
I do feel like I just feel like there's a good chance Stewart just kind of annihilates him. But yeah, if it goes to decision, I feel like Wynn's got an overwhelming chance of winning it just because of volume.
yeah, no scorecards. Like I would rather play no scorecards than at plus money than Stewart at plus 105. Wouldn't
Yeah,
you?
definitely. Yeah, definitely.
I don't think
Like,
Wynn can knock Stewart out.
yeah, like if it goes to the decision, I feel like Stewart's got like a 10% chance of winning that decision. You know, assuming it's the decision.
Yeah.
Because like I feel like a decision will be predicated on Stewart hurting Wynn badly, at least like twice.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
yeah,
that's a for sure play. No scorecard.
yeah,
I just don't think Wynn can take Stewart out, and I think Stewart and killing him is a very high percentage. Um, Robertson and Barber. This
oh
is
god,
another interesting fight. There's a lot of wacky fights here. What are your thoughts?
oh fuck. I kind of blame Barber just because I feel like Robertson's kind of limited, but yeah, they're both kind of. Robertson just kind of has one skill set. There was like,
Yeah,
and like, yeah, Robertson's on his run, but even then, like Robertson hasn't dominated her wins. Macedo made it fairly close. What's the name? Also made it, even Proto. That was a fairly close grappling match. But yeah, I'm not saying Barber's the same level of grappler as Proto, but I think Barber's more less likely to just accept bottom position like Proto did.
yeah.
Like Proto was just happy, just like chilling in guard.
Damn, dude. The over under here is 1.5. Like, I get it's pretty binary, so I like
Yeah,
understand, but I don't. The thing is, I was really looking into Barber's grappling. I don't think Robertson can sub her. The more I
yeah,
looked, like I think if Robertson wins, it will be more so just like top position, and
yeah,
just kind of winning rounds that way. Um, I think this is another. I kind of want to play no scorecards here as well because
yeah,
the more I watched Barber, like she actually has a guard, and I don't think Robertson is all that great of a submission artist. I think she's just
yeah,
sub a couple people who were like not very skilled on the mat, like Molly
yeah,
McCann.
yeah,
Um,
definitely.
I don't think she can finish Barber personally, and that's kind of why I do lean Barber here. I do think Robertson will get takedowns here at the same time. Um, I do lean Barber, but I think I'd rather play her in scorecards because I just don't think Robertson can finish. And then also, if you looked at like what Macedo was doing, a lot of what she was doing was powering out of positions, and Barber can do that.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
if
definitely.
she's super powerful and athletic, like the athletic and power edge and just kind of physicality edge is pretty big here, but Robertson's pretty good at what she does, but
Yeah,
like Barber can compete in the grappling even if she loses it, where Robertson can't compete in just like a brawl, a clinch brawl on the feet. She's gonna
yeah.
get fucking massacred. Yeah,
Yeah, that's pretty much my rate of it. Like, if Robertson can just like insta tap her, I think the price is kind of justified. But otherwise, it's like if Barber can compete, I have more faith in Barber competing in the wrestling and the grappling than I do in Robertson ever being able to really hang in Barber's areas.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
so I feel like I'm definitely leaning Barber. I got some -125 whilst it was a bit closer in the prices, but it's not a huge play for me or anything.
Yeah, I do want to see these no scorecards because the more I looked into the grappling, like Barber does all the right things as far as guard retention and stuff. Like I don't think Robertson's going to finish her, man. And it pretty much has to be like a sub or a guard pass and pounding her out. And I just don't think that's going to happen. But we'll look into it. Next fight's a depressing fight because I agree with the line. Uh,
Yeah,
um, I like Joe Lozon, but he's very shot. It's kind of sad, you know.
yeah, pretty much agreed. He might have a shot at like club subbing or subbing in the first round, but like Pierce does a crap ton,
Yeah,
and yeah, I just see Lazon very quickly wilting under the pace.
pretty much. He has a bad striking ratio, like historically too. So I kind of just think he hasn't subbed anyone for like 5 years either, like a long time. So I feel like he needs a first round finish, or he's kind of fucked. That it's gonna be a tough one to watch. But are you playing Pierce or?
No, not at this point. Maybe PSKO, maybe see if it's probably good price like round three or something like that. But like, yeah, Lazon's gonna get fucked. I'm still annoyed at Lauzon because I had this huge middle on Gritzmark. Lauzon starts round three and under 2.5,
Yeah,
and that was like the only corner stoppage in MMA history.
you would have got it on Gifford Davis, which was like, yeah.
That went over 2.5 rounds.
Um,
I think it did.
yeah,
Pretty
no,
sure it
I'm,
did.
I'm saying I'm saying you would have gotten it right because you said fight starts round three. I was saying if you
No,
because
fights. I needed between fight starts round three and under 2.5.
oh, I gotcha. Yeah,
Yeah, it wasn't outright. It was like middle. It was middle of two up lines.
yeah, gotcha. I
So like,
This fight, the over under is 1.5. Uh, hmm.
even then, like it depends when Lauzon. Like I think the under's actually not bad because like you think that sort of covers Lauzon's probably win condition.
Yeah.
But he's been off 2 years, so you don't know if like maybe he's recovered a little bit. Then again, he did get like completely annihilated by Guida. But then
Dude,
again, Jim Miller also almost got the KO'd stiff by Clay Guida, so we can't judge.
against Gutzmacher, it was like
It was sad.
if you look at the clock of whenever he was slowing down, there was a minute and 30 seconds left in round one, and he couldn't even like compete anymore because he was so tired. It was it was like a BJ Penn gassing type of thing where it was just so quick. It was concerning. It was really, really sad. But
Yep.
yeah. Hardy, Sassoli. Um,
Name heavyweight swing first. What's the under
yeah,
1.5? Yeah, 1 point. Yeah, under 1.5 is not worth it. -150. Like, yeah, I watched this Oli. I watched this Oli's last fight live. I could attended it. It was peak meme.
yeah,
My favorite part is when the guy sits up again and the ref hasn't stopped it. Have
yeah,
you seen that, Cliff?
yeah.
Yeah. Good old XFC. Good old clanger. Um, yeah, I try and occasionally the ref, so I'm just like, it's one of those many moments we've given him shit for.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, Sasoli's kind of unathletic, fat, slow. Hardy should kill him, but Sasoli's tough as nails, so could happen.
Yeah,
Sasoli by arm triangle.
yeah. I'm fine with like Hardy being a favorite here, but it's still heavyweight and it's still like a raw fighter in Hardy. I've actually been high on Hardy for a while. Like even just when he was fighting in the Contender Series, I thought he was I understood he probably had holes and everything, but he's picking up on sprawling and shit, which is like all you need to do at heavyweight because there's only like two people with actual good takedowns. Um, but yeah, like kind of, I don't have any action here. Yair and Stevens, we've covered this fight before. Um,
Yeah,
I
I've
think
gone
it's
from Team Stevens to Team Pass at the moment.
you think the 3 rounds favors Yair? I personally do.
I do, but I do feel like it favors Yair, but I don't feel like it favors him enough to play him. It just makes it takes it from Stevens to Bush for me.
Yeah.
I do kind of like the under 2.5 here. Like, I don't usually play narratives, but I do feel like they're going to come in hard.
Yeah, I could see that.
And like, even if you watch the first like the 10 seconds we got of the first fight, you could see Stevens was having troubles with the sheer speed and kicks of Yair, and Yair's hands were down around his ankles.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty sure you could very easily see fireworks here. And it's
Yeah.
like plus 160, which I'm happy with.
Yeah. I could see that. Both
Like
guys are tough though.
Yair's tough.
Like both guys
They're
are
both
super.
tough.
Yeah.
I think they both crack pretty hard. So it's just like, yeah, if anything, yeah, I know.
Yeah. No, I
But yeah,
see
under
it.
2.5 plus 160. You could get fight-ins by KO up like plus 200 or something like that. So yeah, I'm down with that.
Yeah. I personally lean like a thing we were talking about is like I feel like just like striking fights lead to a lot of variance.
Yeah,
Just because like I don't know, just like someone could randomly have a moment of inactivity, someone could randomly have more success at the end of the round, and then someone could get a knockdown. So I just feel like striking fights really lead to a lot of variance where like grappling isn't like that as much, you know? So
yeah.
I just feel
I
like close
mean,
strikers fighting is unless if someone's like way better, where it's like Hooker, Iaquinta, um, and there's kind of like a stylistic advantage. I feel like sometimes they're tough to predict because a lot of shit can happen in striking fights, you know?
yeah, but even grappling stuff, you still have like some grappling variants like Bermudez and that sort of stuff. Like his style, there's a bunch of them like Moreno, Ortega, Bermudez who just kind of inject variants because they're
Yeah,
willing to go for low percentage shit.
I do think though that like like predicting sub percentages, I think are easier to do than KO
Yeah,
percentages sometimes.
definitely.
Um, like there's gonna be variance in anything, you know? But I do think I think the way to put it, like an average striker can beat a good striker. An average
Yeah,
grappler usually doesn't beat a good grappler in
yeah,
grappling.
definitely.
So sometimes like these fights, like I've just noticed I've gotten burned more on striking type of fights, but it just kind of
Yeah,
is what it
makes
is.
sense. I think
Yeah.
it's also the market. The market's more able to sort of compute striking. I think too, because I think there's more expertise flying around. Well, there's just a lot of people who do not fundamentally understand grappling.
And also there's more data that matters in
Yeah,
UFC.
strike numbers. Yeah, volume was worth a lot. Knockdowns. Yeah, there's all sorts of striking data. A lot of grappling stuff is very sort of fuzzy.
Yeah, like you can get like I think grappling data is really good for like in Esparza to where you know how many takedowns she's going to shoot or something pretty much.
Yep.
Where I feel like grappling willingness is good for grappling data, but like grappling effectiveness is not always shown
Yeah.
by the numbers. We're striking it kind of is. I mean, there's
Yeah.
always going to be adjustments either way, but yeah. Um,
Yeah. I suppose
why? What's
it's
up?
another event where the main event is like the fight. I'm not even particularly interested. Like I find Dominick Reyes interesting as a prospect. I'm just kind of like, yeah, whatever. I think Chris Weidman just kind of burned out to me.
Um, I uh, is everyone on Reyes? I feel
Uh,
I haven't seen anyone fight.
I I could see how Weidman does it. So I think the question's really can Weidman get a takedown and sub him inside 7 minutes? And
Yeah,
it could easily turn out, but that's like a minus 300 path to victory. That could also turn out, but it's not going to happen, and Reyes just sort of cruises over him. So it's kind of
pretty much.
it's a weird fight, yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
I do think Weidman's a like I
yeah, he's
know
incredible. He's a grappler.
he's a good grappler. I I just haven't seen enough of Reyes' grappling to know. Like the few things I've seen, they were really quick moments of him scrambling back up, but it wasn't like I didn't see anything alarming out of it, but I didn't, to know what's going to happen here. Um, but I do think Weidman's grappling is much different. Like he does that snatch single. It's kind of his like go-to. He grabs like one single and it's almost like a crackdown. And he does it to everyone. And I think he's gonna get takedowns here for sure. But
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just he's kind of like early fight dependent, I feel like you said.
I don't think why I feel like this embarrasses here about Weidman being chinny, which I don't necessarily agree with because I feel like nobody's really put him out soft. Like it's
Yeah.
not good being knocked out, but if you're getting absolutely demolished, I'm just kind of like I'm a bit more hesitant to call you chinny.
Yeah, I don't
Like
think he's chinny. I think he's more of a front runner to where
yeah,
he'll kind of
front
like is that fair? Like I feel like he
front
kind of
runner.
fall apart, you know?
Also, I kind of feel like his game is so kind of tightly integrated that if you start taking bits out of it, it just kind of falls apart.
Yeah. Because
I don't
I don't
necessarily think it's like mental weakness, or I don't think it's like mental weakness or gassing. It's just a matter of like his game is just is quite tightly bound.
yeah.
Everything kind of feeds into everything else. There's a bunch of sort of wrestle boxes where you just if you take one aspect out or slow them down a bit, and suddenly it's just like everything falls apart.
Yeah, because I don't think he's chinny because the Yoel Romero thing was insane. It just yeah, it just is what it is. And then the Rockhold wasn't anything about Chinny. It was kind of his game falling apart once he kind of
Yeah,
got his back taken, and he just got pounded out. And then Jacare was just it was kind of a brawl, and he absorbed a ton of strikes, and he just kind of got hit with a
yeah.
big shot. It wasn't like I didn't think that was bad. And
I
then
know it was competitive.
Mukasi was kind of like him falling apart too, you know?
Yeah, yeah. It's a weird. I feel like Weidman's decline is overrated a bit,
Yeah.
but I'm not confident enough to really start digging in to really start swinging for it. Like, yeah, that was kind of the last hurrah of Romero's career, I guess, or probably will be. But in going up to light heavyweight, I just yeah, it is very possible. But it just turns out Reyes just can't grapple with Weidman. Like
Yeah.
Weidman could honestly like reinvent himself as a grappling specialist at light heavyweight because like he hasn't grappled much, but that's because he's been against like Jacare and what's his name, Romero.
Yeah, the thing about Weidman is he pretty much lands takedowns in every fight except
Yeah,
those fights, and it makes sense as to he actually should have grappled more versus Jacare, in my opinion. But I
after seeing
think
the
like
Madsen fight, but still, it is Jacare.
he probably yeah, after seeing the Hermanson fight, it probably he's probably kicking himself. Like if I would have gotten top position, I probably could have done it all. But
It's still Jacare.
yeah,
you know,
and like
if you can't being the first person to take down Jacare is, and you know, Hermanson had badly hurt Jacare by the time he took him down.
because Weidman actually got a takedown on Romero and Jacare. It's just he didn't like get any top position with it. But in every other fight, he's pretty much taken everyone down and passed with ease. You know,
Yeah,
so I like
like
this is a weird fight.
Weidman getting a title fight at light heavyweight would not shock me if he just took down if he just takes down Reyes and taps him. I wouldn't be that shocked. I'm just finding it hard to put a price on it.
Like I don't know if you were an odds maker and I was like Gugabe make a line, wouldn't you probably just put this is like I don't know if someone
I'm
asked
pretty
me
sure from a commercial point of view, I'd be pretty sure I'd get a lot of action on Reyes, so I'd probably give him minus 200.
yeah I'd probably put him minus one. I'd go 6 out of 10, and
Yeah,
I think I would understand that it's going to be dominant one way or another. So there's a
yeah,
very good chance that the line's completely wrong on either side. You know?
yeah. Exactly.
What?
It's just a weird spot. Like, honestly, looking for like light heavyweight rankings, there are a bunch of guys that Weidman could just tap out.
Yeah,
Like Anthony Smith, definitely. Gus, Vulcan, Uzdemir. Well, actually, Weidman versus. I'd be interested by Weidman versus Glover.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
or even Glover Jacare. I
The
think
thing
that'd both be very fun fights.
dude, Weidman's a really good grappler.
Yeah,
Like you don't just do what you did to Gastelum, you know, without being like
yeah.
a super skilled grappler.
Didn't he
Um,
like win ADCC trials or something on notice?
yeah, there's rumors of him like I mean, I know like in the cage is way different, and I'm not saying I'm playing Weidman here. This is a clear stay away in my opinion,
Nope.
but there's rumors of him tapping like really high level black belts in the gym.
Yeah,
Um,
wouldn't shock me. Like, he's
Yeah,
definitely up there. Like,
yeah,
Rockhold outgrappled him, but Rockhold kind of got given his back. And Rockhold is probably the best top game in the sport's history.
yeah, yeah. Like as far as like an MMA top game, I agree.
Yeah, like
Um,
not necessarily pure jiu-jitsu, but just in terms of just MMA top game, yeah, Rockhold.
yeah, yeah. And the thing with like, and the thing with Weidman, if you can't put him in those bad positions, like if your goal is just to get back to your feet, like Reyes will be, he's super dangerous because then it's pretty much all he has to worry about is getting top, and so
Yeah,
he can kind of do whatever he wants on the floor. Um, but yeah, like Musasi kept doing like jujitsu concepts to get back to his feet. And the thing with Reyes is I feel like he'll be doing wrestling concepts because he actually comes from like a high school wrestling background, Reyes, and he does the classic give up his back to get to his feet. Like it's very wrestling-esque. And I feel like Weidman might have answers to that just with mat returns. Um, yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if Weidman
yeah,
just dominated him, but it's tough to know because Reyes will pretty much murder him on the feet, in my opinion.
yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, it's just it is really difficult to know this one. Like, I could see it being very binary either way.
Yeah.
Actually amused me. Like, I'm pretty sure the sub line he'll be like plus 300 for Weidman. You know what the sub line against Gastelum was?
What
Plus 800.
did you hit it?
Yeah,
Nice, nice.
I know. It was like probably my like first major like profit day on like Bet MMA. I max bet Weidman against Gastelum, and he was like plus 160 or something. Let me just pull up the record. Like, yeah, I've always had a deep soft spot for Chris Weidman. He's still my boy.
He's tough. Yeah, he's got his flaws, but he's still tough.
Yeah, and it's just I'm not sure that I feel like people ascribe some of his downfall to more of his decline than there really is.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think 4 units on Weidman at plus 150 over Gastelum. I got plus 850 on the sub.
yeah.
Good times. Anyway, that's that. And fucking Patrick Cummins was plus one. It was plus 200 almost against John Volante. Strange times.
Yeah, and then we'll do a podcast next week. We have the Askren Maya card. I'm actually um kind of taping that card now. So
Yeah. Spoilers. Tim buys into kayfabe and thinks that wrestling is real. So
I'm on Askren over Maya. Uh,
yeah, yeah,
and
I'd
we'll
agree. I can't agree with it, but I hope Maya just like instantly taps him. It would fill my heart with such joy.
But like I've been pretty level-headed with Askren. I feel like I haven't played him in the UFC. I really haven't. Oh, actually, no. I think I played Lawler over him and just kind of meh.
Yeah,
Um, and then like I understand his limitations. I get where his limitations are. Like I feel like there's people who are like way against him or way for him, and I'm pretty in the middle. And I just feel like this is actually a pretty good style matchup for him. But pre-fight, I didn't really think that. Like pre-tape, I was just I kind of just thought whatever. And then once I taped, I got really confident. Like I don't think Maya can tap him. And if he doesn't, he's kind of fucked. Like he really gasses nowadays. And Askren just kind of like fights hands well and does a lot to prevent back takes. And
yeah,
and Maya, pretty much all his subs in the UFC are rear naked chokes except a triangle versus Chael. So
yeah.
I just don't think he can beat at like he might hurt him
Yeah.
on the feet, but yeah. Um
Yeah, I kind of, I broadly agree. Like, honestly, I'm not picking the headache. I'm just like,
yeah.
honestly, it's almost 2 a.m. here, so I'm just like, brain dead anyway.
All
Um,
right, I'll let you go then.
all right, thanks for the podcast. We'll try and
Yeah.
record next week, consistent recording.
Yeah. Cool.
Daylight savings means that these bump back a bit in my time, so it's annoying, but well. Anyway,
Yeah.
so thanks for having us. Thanks for having me, Tim.
Get
Bye.
some sleep, man. Bye.